What's up everybody, David here, and today we're checking out the Ibanez RGA71AL. Once again, another awesome name from Ibanez. We're going to start this video by going straight into the demo. Let's check it out. Alright, so now that you've heard the demo, let's talk about the specs of this guitar. This is a NATO body with a flame maple top. You have a panga/walnut neck here with a Madagascar ebony fretboard at 25.5 inches for the scale length. You have locking tuners here on the back, a set of bare knuckle aftermaths, a Gibraltar string through bridge. You have a master volume knob, 3-way pickup switch, and a coil split switch here at the bottom. This guitar retails for $1,400 and it is incredibly well spec'd out for that price point. I feel like you're definitely getting $1,400 worth of specs on this guitar. So now let's check out a few more demos of the guitar, but this time isolated. You're gonna hear some clean tones using all 3 pickup positions with and without the coil split. You're gonna hear distorted tones, once again all 3 positions with and without the coil split, and then some lead tones on all 3 positions to give you an idea of how the pickups react to certain situations. Alright, so now we've gotten all the demos out of the way, let's talk about my feelings on this guitar. So first is the looks. I think it's gorgeous. Like I said, I love the neck, I love the back of the guitar, it just looks incredible. The finish is not going to be for everybody, I don't think. I'm kind of off and on about it. I think it looks gorgeous, but sometimes I just feel like it's a little much for my taste. But regardless, the finish of this guitar is phenomenal. It looks fantastic. I did see a couple finish blemishes, especially on the edges, but you kind of get that with a lot of guitars, so I'm not going to be super nitpicky about that. It's really only a couple spots where I noticed some inconsistencies. I did notice some sharp fret ends here at the higher frets. That's not a massive deal, but for me it's kind of a pet peeve. I've picked up guitars that cost half the price that have smoother frets than this. So for $1,400, I kind of don't feel like that should be an issue. But overall, the build and look of this guitar is actually pretty great. These are only a couple nitpicky spots for me, just the fret ends, maybe the couple finish blemishes, but overall, it looks and feels fantastic. The neck profile is very flat on the back. It was very easy to play. I didn't notice myself getting fatigued at all with it. It's very smooth, especially for lead playing or fast rhythm playing. It's just overall very, very comfortable. I didn't find myself too far out of my comfort zone, especially coming from the Schecters. It is different, but it also is comfortable. No sharp spots on the bridge for palm muting, also very, very comfortable to set your hand on. And overall, just once again, it's a very, very fun and kind of addicting guitar to play. This guitar is tuned to drop A flat with an 11 to 64 string set on it. I myself am very used to 26.5 inches for the scale length, but I thought this was still super comfortable. Once again, I absolutely love the location of this coil split switch. After playing this and the iron label with this switch, I now hate the coil split system on my Schecters. It's very frustrating to have to reach and pull up a knob quickly when you have to switch to a coil split sound, and this one is just so much easier, so much quicker. I will honestly maybe be modifying my guitars to work like this because I love this so much. Sometimes for me, I don't know if it's because I have big hands, I felt like the knobs were a little too close to the pickups, especially like when you're palm muting, your hand kind of rests a little close to this if you're kind of getting into it. That was a little odd for me, and for soloing, I felt that I kind of had to work around these knobs in certain areas, but I know that's not for everybody. I have big hands, so I'm not going to look too much into that. Now, let's talk about the final piece of this guitar, which is the bare knuckle aftermaths. To get this out of the way, they are a fantastic pickup. They can be everything from articulate and dynamic to just absolutely filthy depending on what you're trying to do with them. They're very versatile. The only thing I constantly found myself adjusting for was the amount of low end. These are pretty rich in the low end department, so tones that are generally really good for everything with Archetype Plini, I'd plug in this guitar and I'd immediately have to reach for an EQ and dial back the low end. It's not a problem. Honestly, I'd kind of rather have a lot of low end instead of having none of it, but I did find myself having to adjust, especially compared to my Seymour Duncan Nazguls. These have much, much more low end, so it's definitely not a downside per se. It's just something to keep in mind, something that kind of caught me off guard. So I was jamming with my other guitars, having fun, and I plugged this one in and I'm just like, holy f, that's a lot of low end. Now, this guitar overall, just as a whole, I really, really enjoy. I had a ton of fun with this. It kind of, that little tapping thing that you saw me playing in the demo, that's not something I ever do. Even the solos got some stuff that I don't normally do, kind of, that's not totally in my style, but for some reason playing this, that stuff happened. I don't know if it's just the feeling of the guitar as a whole or the pickup sound. I found myself inspired to do some different stuff, which is definitely always a great sign with instruments. I feel like it's very well spec'd out for $1,400. It feels phenomenal, it looks phenomenal. I had a little bit of issues with the fret ends here and some of the finish issues, but honestly, that's kind of all I've got for you is stuff that I don't like. Everything on this guitar is pretty phenomenal, and I definitely had a ton of fun with it. It's one of those ones where I really don't want to give back again, kind of like the iron label. I've gotten so used to playing this, I've really enjoyed it so far, and it's gonna kind of suck to see it go, but hey, I think that just kind of is a testament to the quality of this guitar and just how good of a job Ibanez has done here. I love that they're going for the more, I'll say, exotic type of looks, especially on the fretboard. I think the fretboard is gorgeous, and I just think they're moving in a really good direction with these style guitars, because this is kind of what people want nowadays. They want the exotic woods, the exotic finishes, and I know for a lot of people this is going to scratch that itch 100%. Once again, this guitar retails for $1,400. I will put a link down in the description below. If you're looking for honestly an amazing all-rounder guitar, something that can do metal, pristine cleans, really dynamic soloing, this guitar is for you. It will do it all, and it does it in a very shouty and loud fashion, which if that's what you're into, you're gonna love this guitar. Thank you to Lewis for letting me check out this guitar. I know it took way longer than I told him it would, so I appreciate your patience. And of course, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you have this guitar? Are you going to buy it? Do you have the fan fret version by any chance? I know that one comes with a set of Fishmans in it, so it'd be cool to hear some of your experiences with that one as well, but just let me know any of your thoughts, good or bad, down in the comments below. Of course, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that YouTube stuff, and as always, thank you so much for watching. My name is David, and I will see you next time.